up over so we can put some faces to some names here. Wanting to give a hearty welcome to Sam, who is recently joining up with the Taylor team. Ali Cosetti, she's actually a top producer relocating into the area. So not
Yay, Ali.
Yeah, so okay, so someone knows Ali, I hear it.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay, perfect. There we go. Okay, so Pegasus knows. Erin McClafferty, she's also joining the Taylor team as well. So welcome, Erin. This is exciting. Haiti Hampton as well is recently joining us and has partnered up with Alicia, the coach, for launching to her business forward. Ida Hernandez as well is going to be joining us. Ramon Polo is also a transfer from an outside of area, so he is going to be, as he puts it, the real estate Spaniard guru. So he works primarily with investors, so give him a nice warm welcome as well. Mike, that is recently joining the Monolastis group as well. So when you see him around, give him a hearty high five. This guy is, you may know this name because he was an absolute badass in the new homes construction, and I believe did 60 sales just this past year in the last 12 months in new homes. So he's going to be joining the Monolastis group. Aaron Versace, anybody know the reference? Versace, no? Showgirls? Anyways. All right, so Aaron also joining us, went all the way from our real estate school with Dr. Barbara Hart and Clarissa, and has joined us recently as a new agent, as well as Kim Volm. So he is a seasoned real estate agent looking to re-engage back into real estate after a few years of a hiatus. So everybody, when you see these friendly faces, give them a nice warm high five, hearty high five, and then disinfect your hands after. All right,
Steven, hey, can I just also add Marty Barker is also part of our welcome.
Oh, nice, excellent. Well, welcome, Marty. Thank you for joining us. Beautiful, beautiful. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let's open this up for some good vibes. We got some great friendly faces joining our family, and would like to open this up for some bucket fills, please. Alicia.
Hold on, I got to figure out how to unmute. I want to give Evie, where'd you go? Where's your camera? Anyways, I want to give a shout out to Evie. I'm just going to guess that probably 95% of the people associated with our office do not know what she actually does on a regular basis for us. So she crushes it every day. And she sent me the most hilarious GIF earlier. That is my new favorite GIF. So thanks, Evie. Love you.
Love you. Thank you.
Oh.
Did it come in a rectangle box?
Oh no. Okay, moving on. What other buckets would you like to fill? Looking for one more. Share some good vibes with us.
Okay, I'd like to say thank you to Amy Bloom. Her time and her kindness to me yesterday, meeting with me and helping me with some strategies for the market and other very, very good vibes. Thank you so much, Amy.
Oh, love it, love it. Well, that's what we're about, right? That's what family does for each other. We support each other and build each other up. So awesome. Thank you for the shout out.
I want to give a shout out to Matt Sadusky, who's taken charge on leading the MREA book club. I think that is stepping up and showing leadership and helping the agents succeed as well.
They've got a nice little prospecting compound going on in his office too, by the way, with Paul and Hope. And even I saw Sarah joining in with them as well. So we've got some good engagement. So just as a shout out to anybody that's looking for that type of engagement and prospecting, acknowledging social distancing, acknowledging the masks rule, you can definitely engage with that because there are people that are wanting to create that kind of camaraderie. So if you're at a loss, if you're feeling a little bit on an island, engage. We're here for you. So awesome. Great job, guys. Great job, team.
Hey, Stephen, I have one.
Yeah, go for it, Mark.
Not exactly a bucket fill, I guess maybe a public service announcement more than anything, but put a post in the Facebook group yesterday about voter registration. Yesterday was National Voter Registration Day. And in that post, it's a good touch for your clients in the past year to reach out to them and make sure that they've re-registered to vote. I believe the California deadline is October 19th. for registration. So that might be a way that you could reach out and touch some people this year or this month.
Nice, nice. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, thank you. Great idea, by the way. Cool. All right. So let's kick it over. I'm going to now talk about the upcoming training schedule, just so that everybody has an update. The MREA Book Club, led by Machuchu Sadusky, Mondays at 8:30 until December 7th. So that's an open forum for the book club. The Zoom and Learn Intro to Hotbot with Ed and Wes. So more information is going to be reposted as far as that's concerned. So again, just reasons to keep in touch with your clients. Hotbot is a way to provide value to them on a consistent basis. So make sure to register for that or be on the lookout for any kind of updates. And then also KW Command with Clarissa. For those that didn't attend Mega Camp virtually, you'll know that there's been quite a few changes with the app, with Kelly, with Command. And so making sure that you're staying on top of it, because if you didn't like Command 3 weeks ago, things have probably changed. So that's good. It's constantly growing and it's constantly evolving. So make sure to stay on top of that with Clarissa. Thursdays, September 24th is the next one at 11 a.m. I also wanted to give a quick little update in regards to Tech Ambassador. So as we all know and love Clarissa for her leadership in directing the technology endeavors with our market center, she is really excited to be able to focus really her energies in on the coaching. So she's still going to be available to us for coaching in technology as well as coaching our agents. Yet we're very proud to announce that we have joined forces with Salma Newman, former tech director from New Jersey, and is going to be leading our tech endeavors with KW Metro. So a lot of the command training, a lot of the app training, a lot of the technology training is going to be coming from Salma, including those one-on-ones. So would like everybody on the count of 3 to give a nice warm welcome and saying thank you, expressing our gratitude for not only Clarissa, but also Salma for joining forces. So 1, 2, 3, thank you, woo, congrats. Awesome. So we'll be posting some more updates from Salma to come. So just so you know, you'll see her friendly face popping up a little bit more. SMP Spotlight, we've got Carlos with us. Carlos, thank you so much. I see your smiling face. Would love to get an update from you in regards to your services and your company, please.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited. Carlos Diaz, born and raised in San Diego. So true San Diegan, true native. Lived here all my life, actually in the same part of town, which is Barrio Logan. Some of you may know it. It's transformed since I was a kid. So I like to say that I'm living in a fancy part of town now. It wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
But I own Flatbid Moving, and that's bid, B-I-D, as in like a quote or an estimate. So Flatbid Moving, we do packing, moving, storage, unpacking, custom crating of fine art, fragile pieces, grandfather clock service, piano service, baby grand, all of it locally. So we don't move out of state and we don't leave Southern California. So we can technically move anyone in Southern California if the address starts or ends in San Diego County. So part of what makes us different than other movers in town is we're one of the few moving companies that use employee movers versus contracted help or day laborers. So that's different. That allows the team members to get to know each other, work well together, be on the same team all the time, every day. And it helps create a camaraderie and provide better service for every client. The other thing that I do a little different is I come out and give an in-home estimate every time, unless the client doesn't have time or absolutely refuses, and then I'll do my best over the phone. The reason that I want to give an in-home estimate every time is so that I can live up to our name, which is Flatbid Moving. So I like to give one set cost that doesn't change based on the scope of services that the client needs. So whether it be a combination of packing, moving, unpacking, and some storage, I can come take a look, assess all of that, and give them one set cost. because I've been doing this for 15 years, I understand all of the variables that may happen when it comes to a move. So I plan for that, and I understand that some things may change, some things may get sold or not get sold and end up moving after all. And so I still don't change the cost even if that happens. The purpose of that is to help folks have a less stressful move experience than they normally would have, because moving is the third most stressful event in life after death and divorce. And then it's number 3, moving. Some folks are moving because they had a death or they're getting a divorce. So imagine that scenario, right? We got to help minimize that stress for those clients. I am on Instagram and business Facebook. And so if any of you would please follow, Instagram is at Flatbid Moving and Facebook is just Flatbid Moving. I will follow back. I will like your post. I will share your post. I will like your pages. So that would be great. I would appreciate that. And I'm open for any questions if you guys want to text or email or call, or just want some insider information about the exciting moving industry. And I can give you guys some inside information. And I want to thank Sal Sheffalo, who I know is in your guys' office. His and my kid went to the same school for a while, and he's trusted me and our team for a while. And I want to thank Kathy Jackson. We're moving one of her clients, and she invited me to the group, the team. And also, I just met with a young lady yesterday in San Marcos named Ariel Nuspel. I don't know who her agent is, but it's here at this office. She's moving October 4th from San Marcos to Vista. It's a condo. Her name is Ariel Nuspel. So thank you to whoever sent me that referral. I really appreciate it. That's what I got, guys. If you want to ask any questions, and I'd be happy to answer.
Well, we appreciate you, man, because I know that a lot of times whenever we've, we all have had those experiences with moving companies that give you a flat bid for now type of quote. So thank you for coming from integrity and providing value to us. And that's an amazing resource. So yeah, definitely. So if there's any questions that you have for Carlos, make sure to hit him up in the chat box. And following as well keeps that social media engagement up. Wanting to pass this over to one of the sharpest guys that I know, Eric Gilman. If you don't know this guy, I don't know what to tell you, but you should. So Eric, tell us about you. Why should we know you?
I'm the sharpest guy you know. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Eric Gilman with Cutco Closing Gifts. I'm going to keep it short and sweet today. I just really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Our team specializes in making sure you stay top of mind and branded forever. And I will be doing a lunch and learn, a class. Raise your hand if you'd be interested in building a business that's over 50%. That's 50, repeat or referral-based business. Yes or yes. Perfect. So Sharp Retention has a business that is over 85% repeat and referral-based business. On Tuesday, the 29th at 12:30, Tuesday the 29th at 12:30, I'll be teaching our 7, not 6, not 8, but our 7 keys for lifetime client retention. So mark your calendars, we'll send out the invite, but here to serve all your gifting and branding needs and appreciate all of you. So thanks and have a super sharp rest of your day.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now I'm going to pass it over to Broker Bob with some broker updates and launch and growth coaching updates as well. Take it away, Robert.
Thank you, Stephen. So we have some great shout outs for the coaching roster this week. Big congratulations to Mustafa, closed his listing and opened an escrow with that same buyer. Mr. Tolentino, first listing went live, received multiple offers, and went into escrow within 2 days, and he did maintain his sanity, clearly. Carrie Dunn opened an escrow on her listing. She's in growth with Alicia. Eric Harris closed an escrow on a new construction property. Nicole opened an escrow on her listing. And if you know what Nicole's story right now, she is going through a lot. So send some prayers her way. Greg Erickson got a BRE signed. He's in growth with Alicia, and Haiti Hampton joined Alicia in the launch program. On to Clarissa. Stephanie Peacock opened escrow on her first listing within days of going live and receiving multiple offers. Stephanie Peacock also opened up her second escrow of the month with her buyers. And Emmanuel Velarde opened escrow below asking price due to a building great rapport with the listing agent. Imagine that. Team Corey, Chris Ross opened an escrow on first listing, waited 7 days to collect 15 offers as instructed. Highest and all cash offer came in on day 6. And then also Surreal Sparks, who's in growth with Corey, opened another escrow. Great job, or closed another escrow. Congratulations, Surreal. And then Coach Carl, Ryan Gillifan, I told you to watch out for him. He opened up another escrow. He probably will be Rookie of the Year. If anybody's tracking Rookie of the Year, he will probably be that. And then Matt Williams opened his third escrow in launch and did so in less than 2 months. Great job, Matt. And then Ada Hernandez passed her test and joined Team Carl. Okay, now I'm doing my broker update. So here's an interesting thing. Put your thumbs up, raise your hands. Is the market still hot? Are you having a challenge with offers, multiple offers on properties? Are you having 5, 6, 7, 8, 20 offers on properties? Listen up, listing agents. We have some we have some new tricks out of some buyer's agents bags that you should be aware of. There's a little form in the car library called COP, Contingency on Purchase, of Purchase. And basically what it means is my buyer is putting an offer on your listing, but it's contingent upon my buyer being able to sell their existing property. And our sweet, lovely downtown Deborah Brown, in one of her listings in the past few weeks, got an offer accepted, fully executed. And after the offer was completely consummated, the wonderful buyer's agent contacted Deborah and said, oh, my buyer actually is in escrow on their property and we want to add the COP to the transaction. So what does that mean? Well, basically, that says to Deborah's seller that that buyer can't buy that property that's in escrow unless they sell their other home, putting Deborah's seller at risk of a couple things. Couple things being, well, the seller was kind of pissed because the buyer and the buyer's agent basically lied to them. And let's say the seller says, go fly a kite, we're not doing it. And if you can't close, we're gonna cancel the contract, which we will be in our rights because you're not gonna be able to proceed. What would happen is Deborah would then have to put the property back on the market or entertain the backup offers, creating extra work for Deborah. And not only that, extra stress on Deborah, our agent, and extra stress on the seller. These are some of the techniques that buyers are doing out there where they're pulling this in the 11th hour and not letting you know. So how do you counteract it? Well, what you should be doing is make sure you speak with that buyer's lender and ask them, how would they not qualify for the purchase of this property? Tell me about their standing. You can also counter back and say, you know what? We'll accept this offer, but this buyer needs to cross-qual with our preferred lender. They don't have to go through financing, but they can cross-qual with Movement Mortgage, because at least Movement will be able to talk to that buyer and say, tell me about how are you going to be able to buy this house? And then you can fish out what that buyer and buyer's agent may not be very truthful about. So there are more stuff that's coming out, but I hope you guys, if you have a listing, make sure you vet the buyer. Every transaction we learn something, but every transaction is also revealing what agents are doing out there to get their buyers into escrow. That's my story today. Everybody make it a great day, and I love you all.
We love you, Broker Bob. Thank you so much for the update and the educational pieces. Let's pass this over to Movement Mortgage for a little update. Please, Ed, Wes, and Amanda, catch us up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, hi everybody. Good to see you guys. So just kind of playing off of what Bob was just mentioning, I'm sure you guys have been seeing a gajillion offers on all your listings and trying to weed through 10, 20, 30 offers and figure out which one's best. Just keep in mind, you guys, that VA loans, they're good loans. These people, such an easy transaction for us to close. And for some reason, I don't know why, but several of my VA clients keep getting shoved down to the bottom of the pile just because they're not coming in with any cash to close. And they're asking for some money back, right? So I get it. People asking for money back, we have some appraisal issues going on, right? I'm sure you guys have seen it out there. So just want to make sure that I'm bringing it to your attention. I haven't had any in years. All of a sudden I had 3 in the past 2 weeks. So just want to make sure that you guys are aware of this. VA clients are still a great bet if they are paying their own closing costs and they're making a conservative and they're making a really good offer. They're very easy loans for us to do. They're guaranteed loans for banks, and it's a slam dunk for us. But definitely want to bring the appraisal issue to your attention. Also wanted to mention one other thing. It's not Hotbot, it's HomeBot.
HomeBot. Yeah, we'll be coming with or having this training tomorrow in Zoom. You'll see a link that was posted in the Interoffice Facebook group that you guys can use to register for it. It's a great tool that will keep in touch with your sphere, your past clients. I'll automatically send them a customized CMA every month. It's fantastic for engagement. It's got lots of great tools and options that really gets the client engaged with the email. So it's not just another email coming into their inbox. It's very interactive, and also has a buyer interface as well. So you could use it for prospective buyers. And HomeBot has a special with Movement. You can access this service and try it out for free. So no cost to you. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow from 10 to 11. Go find the link to register, and we look forward to seeing you then.
And you guys, if you have finance offers that you're questioning, feel free to reach out to Wes, Amanda, and I. We'll reach out to the lender. We'll do all the legwork for you. We'll double check to make sure that they have their income and assets all straight, that they actually calculated the income, that they submitted it through DU, that they know what they're doing. We don't gain anything of it. This is just how we serve you. So please let us help you guys out. All of the engagements out there, we have no problem in doing that, a couple extra steps and helping you guys out. Make sure you guys get through your transactions, all right?
Love it. Thank you, guys. And with HomeBot touching your database, HotBot touches a totally different thing. Anywho, so thank you for the clarity. Knowledge is power. All right. So just to let you know, as far as any of the property pitches, including the buyer needs, please, 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 please keep posting that to the Interoffice page, because I'd like to highlight Emily on the Lee Home team actually came across from Circle Dialing an off market in Encinitas, posted about it, and was able to communicate that back to the seller as far as here's the type of interest that you have. Here's already the offers, sight unseen, that she was able to receive. So again, by creating that kind of camaraderie, not only are you providing value to your buyers, especially in this competitive market, but also to your sellers that are contemplating selling, putting that out there, getting your sphere to a reason to reach out to them with that type of content. So please make sure to keep posting that to the Interoffice page so we can work together so everybody increases their business and their profitability. Without further ado, the main reason why we're here is to have Ashley Lunn chat with us. Oh,
1 second. We have Chris Spade speaking too before Ashley.
Sorry, I jumped over that. Chris, you're delicious. Talk to us about your deliciousness.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, if any of you are joining tonight, I was asked to teach a cooking class online. I've done it a few times, specifically for this group once. So everything that you need, you can go pick up at Sprouts or Vaughn's or whatever. It's going to be easy. It's going to be healthy. It's not going to be time consuming. I promise it'll be good. There's no sugar involved, so you won't have sugar in it. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, if you are so inclined to join, I will be there at 6.
Love it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now I'm looking at the agenda. I'm like, did I screw up? Okay, no. But now, without further ado, Ashley Lunn, you want to take it away and give us some market stat updates?
All right. You all ready? Evie was great. She already got this out to everybody. So it might be easier for you to follow along if you've downloaded it. Let's get going. I'm going to share the screen. Hopefully everything's big enough for you guys to read. So for those of you who've been around a while, we've got 68 people on here. I'm certain there's a few this is their first stat meeting. So actually I see Alicia smiling. Why do I have Christmas on here? It's only September 23rd.
Because that Christmas is 90 days from now, and what we do today shows up in 90 days.
Yep. So your activities are dictating whether you're not going to have a good Christmas or a bad Christmas. Of course, this is 2020, so this might be all of our Christmases. It's going to be an odd end of the year. Every day, something else is happening, right? The one thing I know we all can control is our daily business activities. So here's your competition. I left this in from last month, and I'll probably leave it in till the end of the year because we do have new people every week. 28,000 realtors in San Diego County among the 3 associations, and only 5,843 have closed a deal in the last 12 months. So honestly, your competition realtor-wise isn't that, it's not staunch competition. That's the first time in my career that I've seen it be that thinly spread. So you can absolutely take care of that because let me go back. Look how many agents, 1,816 have only closed 1 deal. 969, 2 deals in the last 12 months. How proficient do you think they are? And for those agents that 2,800 agents in that 1 or 2 units, where do you think they got those deals from?
Someone they knew.
It's a live question. What, Chris?
Somebody they already knew.
Maybe a family member, right. Grandma needs a home. All right. So there's not a whole lot of agent competition out there. Everybody who's on this Zoom right now should be in the top, what is that? 3.5%, 10 units or more. You're in the top 3% of the entire board of realtors in San Diego. All right. So these are the numbers as of today. First thing this morning, well, 9:30, not first thing, but we have 1,129 active houses available under $1 million. That's higher than last month, but that is a ridiculously low number. That's why we're seeing multiple offers on everything. On condos, look at that. Oh, next, yours is not forwarding. There we go. Condos, we only have 646 under $500,000. How many of you, by show of hands, literally, I've got quite a few of you that I can see on the screen, are getting stressed out because the number of offers that you either have to write or the number of offers, yeah, Melinda, you probably have shown them all, or the number of offers you have to actually review. I'm going to say right here, there's never been a time that it's been more important than to create a relationship with the other agent than there is now. It's your best way to stand apart from the multiple offers that you're competing with. Greg, you look way relaxed, dude. Just a normal Wednesday for you. All right, here's a script I would suggest using. And because there are so few properties available under $1 million that are houses and so few that are under 500,000, let's go get that inventory. Use this script. And if you don't have 2 buyers, a better office does. So you can say, we have 2 buyers who are looking, one up to 900 and one at $500,000. All right, so here's our actual hard numbers. Take a look in the boxes up at the top where it says total listed 2018, 2019, 2020. What do you see there? Somebody speak up. We're live. Live question. What do you see? What
That
what
we
information
that we're
are-
short on listings.
Well, what?
That we're short on listings this year
By what? By a lot.
by a lot.
Now look at the solds. We were behind last month. We were actually way behind because we were feeling the impact of March and April so much. We've nearly caught up. And considering what's going on in September, I think we're going to catch up to last year's solds. And yet we're way off on the listings brought to market. So more and more compaction of inventory, which means what?
Price.
A lot of
They
things.
determine the price they want.
Well, it's probably the reason we were having issues with appraisals now, because there's not, when you've got this many people competing for such limited inventory, they're going to push the price up, but it's going to be really hard for appraisers to justify.
Well, and they're not even pushing the price up. The buyers are.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That the buyers themselves are pushing it up because they're competing.
Crazy.
Yep. You're going to see that on the when we see the average and the median sales prices and how they really have jumped just in the last couple months. All right, I'm going to ask, I cannot keep my eyes on the chat. So if you have a question or a comment on these, just come off mute and chat with us. I guess the other big takeaway with the listings and seeing what's coming to market, we just probably have sold most of San Diego property under 400,000. I mean, there's just not much left. I would guess this time next year, we're going to see very, very low numbers of anything under $500,000. The prices have just been propped up to that level. All right. Next, this is the same data, but put in a different format because Russ Spread Shoeless likes it this way.
Yay!
It's easier to see where we've lost the sales and the listings in this format. So the blue bar is 2018, the gold bar is 2019, and the red bar is 2020. And you can see very easily we've lost a lot of that under $500,000 inventory. It just simply doesn't exist because those things that were probably 350 and up are now 500 and up. Okay, so that was listing information. Now here's the solds. Same thing. Your sold data is always going to obviously follow your listing data. Pretty much if we list anything in San Diego, it's going to sell. So the trajectory, the trends are the exact same, listings to sold. The difference right now is we kind of hit a springboard in July and August. All of that pent up demand or activity that existed for March, April, and May really showed up in July and August. Okay. 3-year sold trends by price, same. I found it pretty interesting to see how far back the 400 to 500. Look at that 400 to 500 on here. We're selling 1,500 fewer units than 2018 in that price point. And that means all those 400 to 500s are now up in that $600,000 and maybe pushing $700,000 price points. Okay, so this goes 10 years back, and it is looking at on the last day of the month, so the 31st of August, how many actives we had. Now, how many of you, by show of hands, have been in the business 10 years? Okay. We've been complaining about inventory for about that long, and yet in 2010 and 11, who could have ever predicted that we would see numbers as low as we have now? When we had 12,000 properties, single family houses available, and we didn't think there was enough and now we have 2,200. And again, I'm questioning how low is that number going to go. In August of 17, we had 1,710 condos. That was the lowest we'd ever seen, but look how we springboarded back. I don't see a springboard coming in terms of what remains on the market as active, because I don't see listings coming in much faster, at least through the end of the year, than they have been. But I also don't see buyer demand waning because there's too many buyers out there. Even if we lost 3/4 of the buyers, we'd still have enough buyers for all of our inventory. Does that make sense? All right, listed compared to sold. This is one of my favorite slides to do, although it takes me a while, because you can see the absorption rates. And when we have steady absorption rates over 60%, that just tells you the market is absolutely zooming and prices are going to go out of control. So anytime in your professional future, when you see absorption rates over 60%, and the higher, the more extreme this gets, you're going to have appraisal issues come up, because there's, other than demand, there's no justification that our prices should be going up this fast. By the way, it's another good script. Get in the market now, because our prices are not going to go down for a while. Okay, new listings brought to market. I'm going to pause here. What do you all see on this slide? This was new listings brought in August.
It's the lowest for the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's actually lowest ever in SDAR, but I didn't want to go back 25 years. And yet, look at the recovery, because if you look at May, that usually goes down a little bit, but we really fell, and so the recovery has been good. The recovery has been good, and yet we could probably stand to take another 1,000 to 1,500 listings a month and absorb it very well.
Yeah, but the trend also is that in November and December, it goes even lower.
That is the trend. Thank you for bringing that up. That is the trend. I don't know that that's going to be the case this year. November, maybe, because of the election, and usually everything slows down for about 4 weeks. But again, let me ask this question. How many of you have seen people who are moving out of state? Yeah. People who are, again, we've talked about this for the last several months, who are tired in their condos and now want to get out of the city, maybe in a little bit more space, because we're going to be semi-locked down for a while. So those kind of things aren't changing. I think we're going to see more people move out of state. My neighbors have decided they're going to list. California is too liberal for them. So, there's a lot of things going on that are making people want to or need to move. That's not going to change. And the people who wanted to and needed to in March, April, May, some of them still are going to show up this year. So I don't think we're going to see that same downward trend. I think it's going to remain pretty consistent. Active listings. Thoughts?
What's the difference between new listings and active listings?
Great question. So new listings means I signed a listing agreement this month, and that's a new listing. So in August, that listing agreement was signed. It may have already sold, but it came to market live for the first time in the month of August. Active means at the end of the month, these were the available properties left on the market. So great question. If we brought 2,300 listings that are single family to the market and we ended the month at 2,232, we ended the month with fewer than we actually listed.
Has there ever been a month like this before? Ever in your recollection?
Not in my lifetime.
Under 4,000 homes for sale for 3 million people?
Not in my lifetime. And I was thinking, how many months would we have to go where you went back to like 2008 and 9, properties sold every month, but there were a few months in there that were incredibly slow. So we might hit 1,200 total sales as a county in 2008. Even if we, and I never foresee that happening again, but even if we did that, we wouldn't build up inventory for months and months and months because we're not having enough of it come to market. Okay. And then there's the scary slide when we compare them to the other two, because the pendings just shot up. So these haven't closed escrow yet. These went into or under contract in the month of August. So we'll see some close in September and October. Who asked me the difference between new listings and
Russ.
active?
Brad
That was
Chula.
Russ? Okay.
Yep.
Can't see him, man.
Cooking.
What was that a good enough explanation? Did I clear it up?
Well, it looked like we ended up with 100 less than we started with. So seems like we didn't sell a whole lot.
Hey, Ashley, I pulled up an interesting statistic this morning. This is Amy Bloom for those of you that can't see me. I pulled up an interesting statistics this morning. I track every week how many new listings, how many new pendings, how many new closed. And what I did something different this morning for all of the new listings that went on the market last week, 33% went into pending.
Yeah. So
within that same week of being listed.
So that will highlight what I'm going to tell Russ. So Russ, what this actually says is we sold more or went into pending on more properties than we brought to market. So there's 100 less available at the end of the month, even though we brought 2,200 more on the market. Does that make sense? It's zooming. If we repeated August, we would have 100% absorption in a month.
Okay.
Right now, Russ, just to give you an idea, we have under 3,800 homes on the market for the entire county, and we have over 5,000 pending.
That's on the first real slide of this. So you can go back to that, Russ.
Okay.
Okay. And then here's our solds. It came down from last month, but it probably will actually spike again because our pendings were so great. What this indicates to me, and I don't know if this is true, but what I can extrapolate from looking at the numbers is that escrows are going more than 30 days. Properties are getting absorbed quickly, but we're not seeing a 30-day close. So those closings will come this month in September.
Yeah, so please stop asking for 21-day closes.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I have a very good friend who's a title rep, and her escrow officers are going nuts. The lenders are going nuts. Greg, you guys, how many are you ordering prelims as soon as a listing is taken?
Well, yeah, I still have agents that won't do a pre-opening, which is crazy to me because whether it's First American or any other title company, our production is definitely slower than it usually is. So I would highly recommend that as soon as you sign a listing, you get a preliminary title report started, because we are seeing a lot of very fast transactions. I mean, for what you just said, that's totally true, but I'm also seeing a real big pickup in 1, 2, 3 week escrows as well.
Yeah. And everybody wants everything right now. So be extra nice to your service people, please. If you think
Ashley?
it's crazy for you, imagine them.
Ashley?
Yes, ma'am.
It's Susan Gedstead. One thing I'm also seeing is the quick buyer's remorse. I'm seeing a lot of things falling out at the moment. People overpaying and panicking and looking at inspection reports. And there seems the last 2 weeks, I've noticed several, I don't know, it seems like it's spiking.
I would concur with that. I would say as a brokerage, we've seen more cancellations in the last 3 months than I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much because of that, right? People get frenzied in the bidding war and then go, oh, yeah. So as agents, we have to counsel them, right?
Yeah.
Don't just lock up the deal. Make sure you're really okay with the current market conditions and what you're going to have to do. All right. So median sales price. Look at just the trajectory of the line. So the blue line is houses. The yellow line is condos. And this year from February to August, look at that spike. That's all about demand pushing prices up. That's 100% on what it is. Now,
Not
the
real.
next one, I'm going to pause because you all did get this already, but I want to talk through the math on this because I think it's actually really important. And how many of you watched any of Mega Camp last week? Okay. They talked about Facebook and our partnership with Facebook a lot, and how many people are engaged on social media, specifically Facebook. And one of the stats that I've heard now a couple times was that 15 million people a day watch a Facebook Live, which I found interesting because I'll post videos, but I don't think I've ever done a Facebook Live. I may start. And if I were an agent in production, this next slide, I would talk about in a Facebook Live sometime this week. There's our average. Again, same trajectory of the line. And what I did, I put the math in here and how we get to the actual percentage. So from August 31st of 2015, 5 years ago, to August 31st, 2020, we've seen a $285,000 increase in the average house sale in San Diego County, which accounts for 42.4% in 5 years. Now, there are some places you can put your money and get really lucky and get a better return than that, but very few that you can have as stable and counted on return as real estate. And again, I don't think that trajectory is going to be like that and that it has been from February to August this year. But it's going to continue to go up because demand. So some of the last slides come from SDAR, and they talk about, obviously they wrote this a couple weeks ago, they talk about how great the stock market and real estate market is. Well, how volatile is the stock market? Because it was great a couple weeks ago. But real estate isn't going to see the tumultuousness that stocks are. This, I think, is why people are buying right now. Part of it, they know it's a safe investment, and it's only going up. So 42.4% increase in the value of the average value of a home in San Diego, and 26.9 on condos. That's extreme also, just not in comparison to houses. Now, I'm curious because, again, this is just what we've seen in the last 5 months. Do you think housing prices, houses, single family, detached, are going to continue to go up at a higher rate than condos are? What do you think as a group? Deborah says yes. Why do you say yes, Deb?
I'm unmuted.
I don't see anything changing for right now. And interest rates are still low, and you still have that same demand. I just don't, that's just what I'm seeing.
Yeah. I think we're going to have more pressure on the condos, because truly it's almost impossible if you're just a normal family to get into the housing market as a first-time buyer with a house.
That's right.
So I think more people, if we're doing our jobs and we get them in at least into the market, the condos are going to have more demand. At the same time, I think there's plenty of people who've been living in condos who are a little over it right now. So that influence is yet to be seen.
Well, that's what I have to say. Everybody I've been working with lately are coming out of condos.
No.
Can I pitch in?
Of course.
I was talking to a friend of mine that I know through SDCIA who's a land flipper. So he works with developers, and they said that there are talks of not allowing single family residences to be built anymore. So I think that's going to see a lot of pressure being put on those single family homes because they're going to be more rare to find.
I'll follow up on that.
I would
actually.
love, Sarah, if you would, I'd love to know who that is and connect me with them.
Yeah, of course. I'll connect you guys through an email.
Thank you.
I was going to go on that point too, as well, Ashley, that there isn't a lot of room to build single families.
Yeah.
And we're talking about densifying San Diego. The only way to do that is to go up. So I think our supply in condos is going to go up, but our supply in single families is not at the same rate, which is going to make single families much more difficult to get into.
Well, and much more valuable and probably appreciate faster.
Yep.
And I agree with that. I think it would be, we've been talking for years that we would have to change the zoning in San Diego. One, for more density in the urban areas to put up larger condo complexes, but also probably releasing some of the restrictions in zoning in the East County, because we do have land. It's just like out where I am, it's a minimum 1 acre, right? Well,
Yep.
over time, and I think it's going to take a lot of time, I think some of that density will be increased, but probably not in my professional lifetime.
So
All right.
can I bring up a point? How many of you guys remember when Alan Greenspan brought up a term, irrational exuberance?
Yep.
This looks like that.
Yep.
This looks like buyers, like back in 2000, right before the crash in 2001, are just going haywire to pick up any tech stock that they possibly can and shooting the prices through the moon, only for them to come back down a little bit.
Well, it may be. I don't have a crystal ball.
I don't either. I'm just saying it just brings
it looks insane. It really does. And thank you for kind of nailing that point, because if you're newer to real estate, you don't realize how crazy this is. And I would normally say this isn't sustainable. But the only way there's only a couple things that could make this line turn. One is increased inventory. That would be the positive, right? We get the inventory and it kind of flattens that increase out. Or something more diabolical that happens in government or, society or something, which I don't want to see happen, obviously. But the demand is likely not decreasing and the inventory is not increasing. So logic would tell us that that's going to continue to notch up.
Yeah. Gary Keller said last week, though, at Mega Camp, if they don't figure out something for the service sector, industry, the economy in some type of relief, that could affect the people at the other end of the spectrum.
It would eventually, for sure, would be a trickle down kind of thing. But we're still talking 18 months to 24 months.
Yeah, we're also seeing, actually, we have a little luxury mastermind group that we meet with when we do Mega Camp and family reunion and everything. And we were going around the group talking about, because everybody's from different areas, New York, Florida, Minneapolis, Silicon Valley, all that kind of stuff. And one of the agents is a big luxury agent in Minneapolis, and she's getting killed right now because she does all downtown high rises.
Chicago too.
Yeah, and her market's just poop. And then I was talking about San Diego and how our inventory had dropped, and we're seeing a big exodus out of like the Bay Area. But the agent from Silicon Valley said that their single family home inventory in the Silicon Valley is minute. They have under 1,000 homes, single family homes, for their county. So that whole
sounds familiar.
Yeah, and they're, so it's the move out of the condo into that single family.
Yeah. And I think, I don't think our downtown is feeling it as bad because it was already the depressed market in San Diego, downtown was. Yeah. But I know in Chicago, I coach a team there. Last August, they had 5 months of inventory in the downtown condo market. They now have 15 months.
Oof.
So in 1 year to have a buildup like that is crazy. And they rep a building where every year there's usually 10 units that sell in that one building. And there's 32 on the market right now. So if you work the downtown market, just get prepared. Things are likely not going to turn around there for a while.
Well, the big thing I'm talking with my downtown people right now too is, there was like Horton Plaza was still all being converted to tech space.
Yep.
Is that going to fill up now? People working from home, is that project going to work? Is that project maybe 5 years down the road when people get more comfortable? So downtown's going to be a different beast.
Absolutely. All right. So I wanted to provide you the math so you could do that anytime that you want with any particular property to figure out, okay, what's our percentage increase? Some people like to hear the actual raw number, but for impact, when you can say anything over a 20% increase, that's pretty shocking. All right, our market time should be no surprise. It's down. So your active market time for condos is at 8 days, and for houses it's at 7. So if you have a listing that is on the market more than a week, it's overpriced. Months of supply for houses is way down. We're at 1.3 months, and at condos 1.9. Average list price to sales price is up. And I said this last month, I was off a little bit. I said, I think we're going to be over 100% in August. We're close. I actually had to adjust my slide to show 101%. Likely, I would guess this month we will see houses go over 100% of original list price to sales price.
So Ashley, I have a question about that. I was just talking with, I can't remember if it was another agent or a client. We're seeing with the offers that we're writing and the offers we're receiving. I had a listing for 485. It sold for 530. We're writing offers for our buyers 30, 40, 50,000 above list. How can that be right? And what I'm noticing is that the listing agents are increasing the asking price as soon as it goes into pending. First of all, why would they do that? Because that kind of tweaks these numbers to not really be accurate. Is it an appraisal? Maybe Ed or Les or Mannequin, is it an appraisal issue that we need to show a certain list price?
Yes, we'll do that sometimes on ours when we're going way over. If we can't get people to remove their appraisal contingencies, sometimes increasing that price or doing a range or something just to trick the appraiser.
So, and keep in mind, y'all, that appraisals are based off of sold pricing, not based off of what's in pending or what's on the market right now. And so that's the issue that all these appraisers are having. They're like, I can't justify this price. Like, you might have sold it for an extra $50,000, $60,000, or you're in escrow for it, but there's nothing that's sold for that same dollar amount. And that's the issue that they're bumping into right now.
Yeah, that I understand. But does the appraiser care that if I listed a house for 600 and it sold for 650, do they care what I had? Okay, good. Because this works for me, because now I can go to my clients in a listing appointment and go, hey, I'm selling on average 28% higher than list price, where these other agents aren't even getting 100%. Isn't that worth the 6% listing?
Yep.
You're making 18% more off of me.
Perfect. Nice talking point, Amy. All right. Yep, Deb, we got 2 minutes, so go for it.
Sorry. So no, I'll discuss it with Stephen then. It's about an appraisal speech because I have 2 that I know are going to go way over, and I need to be able to figure out how to talk to the appraiser.
Okay.
Thank you.
Negotiate that up front.
All right, so the last 2 slides are the ones from SDAR. I said this last month, they're getting really lazy. The first part of both of these, the exact same language, but I did highlight what you should take out of here, and it's basically talking about the percentages with the decreased inventory. Of course, that they say we have no idea if there's a resurgence of COVID, which it seems like nationwide there is. The election and things getting bumpy. There's so many unknowns at the end of this year, but I would not want to be in any real estate market other than San Diego to weather that, because again, our demand is so much higher than available supply that I think we're pretty safe. All right, questions?
What's the biggest takeaway, Ashley?
Learn how to do the percentages. That's why I put the math in there, Peggy.
Thank you.
And the annualized percentages is also very important.
Yep. Well, heck, over month. If you just took February versus August. Oof. All right. That's all I got. You guys stay safe. Make it a happy week. Go call some clients. Do a Facebook Live.
I did. I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
Bye,
Awesome.
guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ash.
My pleasure.
Bye.